If you've ever gone through something hard, if you changed your life, you beat addiction, you rebuilt your confidence, you lost the weight, you fixed your marriage, you escaped burnout, and you're not talking about it, you're being selfish. And I know that that sounds harsh, but if you solved a problem in your own life and you're keeping it to yourself because you're not an expert and you're not ready, then someone who needs to hear your story isn't hearing it. They're stuck in the same exact pain that you already escaped, and your story might be the only thing that makes them believe it's possible for them to escape too. You don't need a degree. You don't need a fancy certification. You literally are the proof that this works. And if you've ever wanted to start an online business, this is your ticket. So stop holding back and let's talk about why your story matters and what you can do with it. Before we get started, my name is Brian O'Neill. I'm the creator of the Skill to Business Formula, and I help people launch online businesses using the skills that they already have, whether it's from their 9-to-5 job, a life transformation that you went through, or a skill or a hobby that you have. If you want to learn how you can turn that into a business, I've got a free resource for you in the description, the Skill to Business Formula. You can grab that and it'll help you come up with ideas based on what you already know how to do. Okay, look. Here's why your story matters. Most people are trying to help others with stuff that they haven't actually fixed in their own life. And you know this to be true. We give people advice that we usually don't take, but you did it. Like you fixed it. And that puts you ahead of 99% of the internet. Think about this. Someone is sitting in their car right now wondering if they'll ever be able to stop binge eating. Someone's Googling how to get out of a job that's literally sucking their soul. Someone's crying in their bedroom after another failed attempt to quit drinking, and you've already lived through it. You've got what they need. And no, it's not coaching. It's hope and it's proof, and that's more valuable than anything else online. Okay, let's make this real. Let me give you some real examples so that you understand how you can take these transformations and bring them to the online world. If you lost 50 pounds without some weird MLM shake, people need that. If you rebuilt your marriage after nearly calling it quits, people need that too. If you were able to escape a toxic job, figuring out how to freelance and spend more time with your kids, you guessed it. People need that too, and they definitely want that. You don't need to teach a full course. You just need to show up and say, this is what I went through. This is what helped me. Maybe it can help you too. And if you do that, then you're doing it in an authentic way and you don't come across as necessarily trying to sell something. You're just saying, hey, I went through this challenge. I went through this problem. Here's what I did to overcome it. And if you went through it, what are we up to? Like 9 billion people on this planet? I guarantee you there are people that are at step one of the journey of the transformation that you went through. And look, people don't want perfect. They want real, like they connect with stories. And you are already qualified to be real. So let go of the fancy certifications and all this I need to be an expert nonsense, because you don't. You solved your own problem. So here's what you can do with your own story, how to get started in the simplest format, because I realize there's going to be a lot of roadblocks for you around that. Like, what do I do first? And my advice to you is to start sharing anywhere. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, email. It doesn't matter. Just start sharing. Talk to the people who will listen and ask them what they're struggling with, right? Like when you start posting and sharing your story and you start sharing your transformation, ultimately the people who want to hear it and who need to hear it, they're going to show up for you and they're going to start commenting. You look at one of my best YouTube videos that I've put out, I have hundreds of comments of people saying, I needed to hear this message. And I've said that message so many times that I'm sick of saying it. But every time I say the message, someone else is hearing it for the first time. So keep saying the message over and over again, because people do need to be reminded. They don't need to hear it once, they need to hear it multiple times. When they respond to you, you talk to them and you ask them what they're struggling with, and then give them very, very simple solution. Hey, this worked for me. Try it out. Stuff that worked for you. When you get to the point where you have enough information, that's when you can look to package it, right? Enough people in your audience are saying, hey, I need help with this. And you can turn that into a guide, a checklist, a short video course. Keep it simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it, especially in the beginning. And offer to help, whether that's $7 or $700, people will pay for solutions, clarity, confidence, like knowing that this worked for you and you sharing your story and how to do it. Hope that it will work for them too, because again, they want the same exact transformation that you went through. They're in this spot. They're challenged. They're struggling. They don't know what to do. They don't even know the first step. And you have all the steps, or maybe you're on your way to completing all the steps. You can still help all those people too that are at step number one, that don't even know what to do first. And look, I'm going to drive this home again. You do not need a PhD in human transformation to help people. You lived it, you survived it, and you can help somebody else do the same. It's one of the best ways to validate your idea. It's like, it worked for me, you know it's going to work for other people. So if you've been waiting for permission, here it is. You are qualified. You are needed. And if you're staying silent, you're not being humble. You're withholding help from someone who's out there struggling alone. And if you were in that spot, you know that that's not a fun place to be. Don't let your story go unheard. Post the thing, write the email, record the video, because there's someone out there thinking, if they did it, maybe I can do it too. And they won't know unless you speak up.